Hello students, we will do the chapter The Climate of Asia, and so far we have learned about the relief and the drainage of Asia. Today we will learn about the climate, the factors that control the climate of Asia, and also we will proceed with the rest of the chapter. We will learn about the climatic regions that are present, and along with that the natural vegetation. So first we will focus on the climate of Asia, or the factors that are controlling the climatic conditions in the continent of Asia. Asia is a vast continent, and if we look at the area covered by Asia, then we will see that it has a great north-south and east-west extent. And due to this reason, we find so the continent has a wide range of climatic types, or we can say a number of climatic conditions or climatic characteristics are found in the continent of Asia. There are mainly three factors that is influencing or affecting the climate of Asia, and these three factors are the great size of the continent, the location of the mountains, the central location of the central mountains and plateaus, and also the seasonal changes of the prevailing winds. Now we will take up one factor at a time and try to find out how it is influencing the climate of Asia. Now if we look at the extent or at the vast stretch of Asia, we find that it is stretching from around 10 degree south to 78 degree north. That means it is the major portion of Asia is in the northern hemisphere, and some parts are lying in the southern hemisphere, that is below the equator. This is the equator, which is the 0 degree. This is passing through Asia. We have the Tropic of Cancer, another important latitude that is passing over Asia. We have also the Arctic Circle that is passing over Asia. So mainly Asia is crossed, or three important latitudes are passing over Asia, and these are the equator, then we have the Tropic of Cancer, and then we have the Arctic Circle. Now these three latitudes, the presence of these three latitudes is influencing the climate of Asia. How? Let us find out. Now if we look at the 0 to 30 degree north, that is from here till around, we can say here, this part of Asia is lying in the lower latitudes. So here we find, as the equator is passing over here, we find that these areas, they receive the vertical rays of the sun more or less throughout the year, and as a result of it, the temperature remains high and it is very hot. These parts of Asia are very hot. And as we are going towards the north of this northern part of Asia, that is from 30 degree north, as we are going towards the northern part of Asia, we find that slowly the temperature decreases, and the rate this temperature decrease of this temperature continues, and when we are crossing that 60 degree north, that is when we are near about the Arctic Circle, what we find that there is a drastic change in the climatic conditions that we find. These areas, they receive the oblique rays of the sun, and so the temperatures remain low more or less throughout the year, we can say. So the northern latitudes, the northern portion of the southern portion of Asia, which is lying in the lower latitudes, are the temperatures are high, whereas as we are proceeding towards, or as we are going towards the northern part of Asia, we find the temperature is slowly decreasing. Along with that, if we look at Asia, we see that this area, this portion of Asia, that is the interiors of Asia, they are far away from the seas, and as a result, the sea is not influencing the climatic conditions of the place. So the two factors, that is mainly the size, the vast extent of Asia, along with its distance of the distance from the sea of the interior regions have given rise to different climatic conditions. These parts of Asia we find is experiencing continental type of climate. In the lower latitudes we find the temperature remains high, but as we are going to the higher latitudes we find that the temperature is decreasing. The second factor that is influencing the climate of Asia is the presence of these mountains and plateaus of Central Asia. These vast area of the brown portion is showing the plateaus and the mountains, and these plateaus or mountains are influencing the climatic conditions of Asia. How? Let us find out. Due to the presence of the Himalayas, what we find that the cold Siberian wind cannot come towards the southern part of Asia. In the Himalayas are obstructing the flow of the cold Siberian wind during the winter from blowing to the southern part of India. Again, what we find that is the moisture carrying winds from the seas, they cannot cross and bring rainfall to the other side of these mountains and plateaus. So the mountains are keeping the southern portion warm by not allowing the cold, dry Siberian wind from blowing from the northern part to the southern part of Asia in winter, and the moisture-laden wind that is coming from the seas from the southern portion also cannot reach the north because of the presence of these lofty plateaus and mountains. Again, we see that these areas, that is as we are climbing any high place, that is any mountains or plateaus, there is a decrease of temperature, and the temperature decreases at the rate of 6.4 degrees Celsius per 1000 meters. That means if we are climbing 1000 for 1000 meter, there is a drop in temperature by 6.4 degree Celsius. And these mountains and plateaus, they are quite high, as you have already read, and so we find that the temperatures are decreasing. So these highland areas, these plateaus and mountains, they have a lower temperature or the temperature is less compared to the lowland areas of Asia. So first two factors we have learned. Let us see how the third factor is influencing the climate of Asia. The third factor is that the prevailing winds. There are some winds that are blowing over Asia. These winds, they blow from land to sea during the winter months and from sea to land during the summer months. When the winds are blowing from the sea to the land, they are carrying a lot of moisture and they are bringing rainfall. But when these winds are coming from land to sea, they are picking up less moisture, very little or no moisture at all, and as a result there is practically no rainfall, or there is very little rainfall in the winter months. So we see that these three factors are influencing the climate of Asia. In the next video we will take up the climatic types or the climatic regions of Asia.